Hello everyone, I'm Sister Vassa, and today I'm having coffee not in Vienna, in Austria as usual, but here in New York City at the studio of the famous Steven Christoforou, who does these podcasts called Be the Bee, as I'm sure you already know. So today I was invited over here to Steve's studio, and I'm going to be interviewing him because I find that he has a fascinating story. We will find out all about how he started doing his work here at the Greek Orthodox Archdiocese in the United States. So let's give Steve our very warm round of applause, since I do somehow travel with my studio audience. Don't try to figure that one out. Just please applaud for Steve. So, Steve, thanks again for agreeing to this interview. I'd like to ask you, firstly, what kind of a family background do you come from? I know that you're Greek Orthodox, but tell us something about your church upbringing.
Sure. I was raised Greek Orthodox. My parents were immigrants from Greece and Cyprus. They came here very young. Then they grew up here in the States, and they met, and then they had me eventually. So I grew up here. I grew up in a particular branch of my family that was more into the church than I guess others. Both of my grandmothers, my mother's mother and my father's mother.
Too much information, Steve.
They're wonderful people. That's all I'll say. And
Did
then
you
somehow I
go
ended
regularly to church?
When I was a kid, yeah, I went to Sunday school, went to church. I actually started teaching Sunday school when I was in high school. So I was pretty involved. I mean, as I got older, I went through the normal doubts and struggles and everything, but I was there.
You still went to church?
I did.
So where did you go to university?
So I went up to New Haven, Connecticut, to Yale University.
Yale, wow. Very impressive, Steve. And then, did you go on to study law, as I've heard?
That's right. You heard correct. The rumors are true. I came back to New York to Fordham Law School, and I studied there for a few years, and then I practiced.
Did you receive a law degree?
I did. I passed.
Steve is a lawyer, everyone. Well, we're not going to hold it against him.
I try not to hold it against myself on a daily basis. So yeah, I finished, I graduated, I practiced, I was admitted to the bar, and I worked for 2 years actually, between graduating and then
Where did you work, Steve?
Down on Wall Street.
Wall
Street.
Street.
Yeah.
Okay, so Steve is a lawyer, a Wall Street guy.
Retired, former.
Amazing. So why did you leave Wall Street?
It was never for me. I think I can remember from the time that I was a kid, from the time I was really little, I had these sort of questions in my head of what does a priest do and what do monks do and what does it mean to sort of be active in the church and serve the church.
I have that question in my head as well.
Never quite figured it out. And I kind of wrestled with that for a while, and then I pushed it aside actually when I was 13 because I came up with this grand plan for myself and how I was going to grow up and be a politician and be president of the United States and save the world and all that other nonsense. Yeah. Yeah, it's sort of a facepalm.
Why is that nonsense?
It's like very.
We're still waiting for our Greek Orthodox president.
We almost had Tsongas. And Dukakis. But so I don't know. Like it's very kind of like goofily messianic, right? To grow up and be like, I'm going to be the one who saved the world, and I'm so smart that I find all these problems and I'm going to fix them. So. But
tell us, you did leave Wall Street and you ended up working here full time.
I did.
You work for the Greek Orthodox Church here. You do missionary work, don't you?
I did. Well, I mean, so for the past 2 and some odd years, I've been here at the Greek Orthodox Archdiocese. This actually is our office/studio, and I work specifically for the Department of Youth and Young Adult Ministries and the Office of Camping Ministry.
Okay, that you talk very quickly for my viewers, Steve.
Sorry.
So you work for the Office of.
It's all the caffeine. I work for the Department of Youth and Young Adult Ministries and the Office of Camping Ministry, and I've been the director now of that department for the past couple of weeks, I think it is.
Camping ministry?
Yeah. Youth and Young Adult Ministries and the Office of Camping Ministry.
So what is camping ministry?
Summer camp.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you go hiking and stuff?
Well, we have a bunch of summer camps around the country. We have one not in the country. They're all over the place.
Okay. So fascinating. You left probably a very high-paying job on Wall Street and a degree in law to work in youth ministry. I find that fascinating, Steve.
Yeah.
So tell us about your program. It's called Be the Bee. By the way, I just want to tell the zillions that we're very happy if you watch Steve's show, of course, right after you watch ours. If you tune in also to Steve's show, we would be very happy about that, because Steve is a friend of our show. He's very supportive of us, and we really do admire his work. Steve's program is appropriate for all ages, and it is also friendly to younger people, which is very nice. And so tell us, Steve, tell us something that you would like to tell us about Be the Bee.
Thank you.
See, we have Be the Bee bracelets.
Oh yeah, and I'm a proud one in a zillion myself as well. So we posted not too long ago our mascot Buzzy the Bee sipping coffee with Sister Vassa. Actually,
Really?
Our mascot was into selfies and took a selfie. Yes.
Did he really? I didn't see that.
It's a she. Buzzy is a she.
I didn't see her do that.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll have to look that up.
I'll have to email it to you.
But tell us, is it, I've seen how Steve works here now. We've done an episode of his show together already. It's not published yet. But anyway, you do this alone, the filming and editing process. Tell us about that.
That is beginning to change. Thank God, I'm beginning to get a little bit of help. But for most of the run of the show, it was just a lot of it was on my shoulders in terms of the writing. I had a lot of people who were there to help with editing. My wife especially is a really fantastic editor, and she helps look over scripts and ideas.
Do you have children?
We have a dog.
You have a dog? Okay, they have a dog, but you're married.
Yeah.
And you live here in New York City.
Yes.
And you have this office here, which is provided, and you are supported by your archdiocese.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
This is all very fascinating for me.
Yeah. Since taking over as director of to oversee the entire archdiocese, there's just a lot of stuff going on, so it helps a little bit to have that.
So this isn't
help.
the only thing you do. You also manage all of this other ministry and in the entire archdiocese.
Yeah, so we have youth ministries and young adult ministries. We have we tend to do a lot in the way of resources. We have Be the Bee, which we try to come out every week, which is used by youth groups and young adult groups and Sunday schools and all sorts of people, as well as just families who watch by themselves. We're actually we're getting together some new Be the Bee retreats based upon the videos that we're going to go out and starting in August, the goal is for them to be regional, so that a bunch of different parishes from an area get together, and also for them to be, I really don't like the word, but pan-Orthodox, for it not to be simply for Greek Orthodox people, but for people to come together and have an experience where we can come together and learn together and pray together, and there'll be workshops and sessions for kids and for parents and youth workers as well as young adults. It's going to be a whole thing.
Now, tell us a little bit more, though, Steve, about your show. So what is it? What's the idea of your show? And just very generally, Be the Bee these are podcasts, right? I know that they just go a few minutes. My show is a little bit longer. It's 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So just describe what you choose as topics. Or do you talk about theological topics per se, or because I will do saints or feasts. So tell us about your concept.
So the theme is to be the bee, and the idea actually came from my former boss, the former director here, Father Jason Roll. He really loved the idea of Be the Bee, which he came across in the writings of Saint Baisios, and so he passed it along when we decided to do the show. About a year and a half ago, I guess it was. And so the idea is, just like the bee goes from flower to flower and pulls out what is good and leaves the rest behind, to really find that revelation, that gift that God gives us, and then to go and share it with the world. So when we pick topics, very frequently they're in response to emails and questions and comments that we get from youth and young adults and all sorts of people.
For example,
the episode that we worked on today, check for it, coming very soon on the Y2AM channel.
Yes, to a computer near you.
That's right, or mobile device. The question was whether orthodoxy is anti-intellectual, and whether it's okay
so somebody asked this question.
Yeah.
Is orthodoxy anti-intellectual? And then you dedicated an episode which is about 4 to 5 minutes.
My rule of thumb is
answer
4
this
minutes,
question.
give or take.
Right.
So, we've done that. A few weeks ago, we did an episode on ways that we can grow to deepen our love for Christ, which was another question that we got from people.
Okay.
We've gotten questions about heaven and hell, so we've done episodes on that, all sorts of topics.
Right.
So that's kind of one theme, and then sometimes if we come up with topics on our own, they try to clear up maybe some misconceptions, maybe kind of point people to the truth behind some of the obscure ways that we sort of misrepresent ideas in the church, and also kind of practical, ethical topics. We've talked about prayer, we've talked about praying in the moment, things along those lines. Fasting, we've done a bunch of fasting, because that's
Why
kind of
we like candles.
We've done
Something like
candles,
that.
yeah, we've done venerating icons.
Or you've done an episode on the Mother of God.
That's right, God's mother, our mother, yeah.
Right, that was really nice as well. Well, thank you very much, Steve. I think we're out of time. Is there anything you'd like to say to our viewers?
I would like to say, first of all, thank you, Sister Vassa, because it's like a real joy getting to meet you in person finally and getting to collaborate and work together.
Same here.
And to all you out there, thank you so much. Keep watching Sister Vassa, because I learn something every time I watch her. Hopefully, if you have time during the course of the week and you'd like to watch an episode.
Not too often.
Once a week, that's all. Watch Be the Bee, but more importantly, just, share the faith. Like, take some of these good nuggets and share them with people. Let the world know what we're all about.
So, that's it for today, ladies and gentlemen. Steve Christoforou, everyone. Thank you.